Hey guys, welcome back. So we have right here our to-do list, and right now when I click on these list items, I really want this drawer to close, and it's not closing right now. So let's fix that. So right now what's controlling that is this prop right here, this .state.isOpen. And if the value is true, it's open. If it's false, it's closed. So what we'd like to do is close it whenever we click the button. So we can map this to an action, I'm thinking, and just store this in the Redux state. But I'm not sure that's the best way to do it. Right now we have this nav bar. And actually I think a nav bar is the best way to do it. Or not nav bar, putting this in a reducer. So I can give this a reducer of its own. So this is going to be drawer open .js, whoops, and export default. And the state for this is going to be false at first, and action. And basically this is just going to be a switch. Default, let's use proper syntax here. Default and then return state. Always have that in our reducer. And now we'll have a case toggle drawer. And basically we're just going to return the opposite of the state. So now let's add this to our root reducer. So every time we create a new reducer, we need to add it here. So drawer open, drawer open. Now, for the sake of not cluttering up the routes, I think I'm going to put everything in this. So this dot, put every, like, normally I would do index actions, but I don't really want to do all that for this, so I'm just going to get this connect these pieces and add them over here. This time we don't need a view. We're not going to have actions like that. So we're going to be exporting default. This is going to be a router. Call it routes. So we're going to be exporting the routes, and our routes needs to have the drawer open, which we get from state.drawerOpen. And we're going to have one action, which we're going to call const toggle drawer, and it doesn't need to take any parameters, and all it does is returns toggle drawer. So now here, toggle drawer. So now toggle drawer should be right here. We will this.props.toggle drawer. We'll call that whenever the nav bar is clicked, and is open is not dependent on the state anymore, the local state, but the Redux state drawer open. So now let's refresh and just make sure that's still working now that we switched to Redux state. Token index, routes index, line 47. So let's go line 47. And I just need to add a comma instead of a semicolon. So that looks good. Pops open, closes. That looks good. Now what we can do is we can use this over here in our menu. So we'll create an action, and our action is actually just going to be, we can copy it. It's going to be the same thing. Export const, toggle drawer, and then in our index we can get, actually we don't need to know the state, just navbar, not navbar, our menu. So now we're going to do two things when we press one of the to-dos. Actually, should we want to do this in multiple places. I was wondering if we should pass like a function or do something, but this is fine. This dot props dot, what did I call it? Toggle drawer. So now we want to do this also, like for example, when we click log out, we're going to go to the logout page and then close the drawer. And actually, maybe we should close the drawer first and then switch the page. Same with sign up. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Open you up, click on L3, click on L1, and our list is changing as we are changing lists. So that's very cool. Our to-dos are changing when we change lists. Now when I create a to-do list, for example, new list, what I want it to do is I want it to create a new list and pop up over here. So to do that, what we can do is, so this is going to be in our component actually. So this is going to be in our submit. So we're going to do two things. We're going to toggle drawer. Actually, we don't need to do it in the submit button. We toggle the drawer, and then we switch to that one. So to do this, so that's going to be the last to-do list added, right? Because it's going to be at the end of the list. So let's create this a function. So we submit, we create the value. Then what we want to do is we're going to get toggle drawer, and we're also going to get another one, set current list. Set current list. So toggle drawer, we're going to call, and then set current list. That's going to be an action, and we're going to pass in current list too as well. So current list dot length -1 will give us the last one. So come back. There's a few things we're going to have to change. We're going to create some actions. actions.js. You get the toggle drawer, and the other one was set current list, which I believe we already have. Do we have one? Change list. Okay, oops. So we pass in the new list. We're not actually passing the new list, we're passing the new list parameter, or index, so maybe I should rename that. But change list. I don't like set current list. Just say change list. It seems like a better name. So set current list to change list. And then one last thing that we need to do, definitely uncomment that, add our actions, action creators, and also we want to get the current list. No, we don't need the current list, we need the to-do list. State.to-do list. And I think I have that wrong in my view. It's not current list, it is to-do list. Alright. Let's refresh that. Unexpected to-do list view form 56. What is the problem? Unexpected token, expected semicolon. Oh. No. Handle submit. Oh, here we go. So I just needed to match the curly, or the parentheses. So now when I write another, create should pop up here. And to make sure that's working, I want to display the current to-dos title. So let's do that in home. Just add a text block to the render. Oops. Render. Name is equal to cur to-do list dot name text name. Okay, so right now we're on L1. Let's create one called what, and we go to another. So I think what might be happening is we're not adding what before we're moving over. So I think what's happening is what is triggering. We're switching pages right as we're adding another list. So the length of the list is one less, and then we add this and it's one more. So it's going to one before. So let's see if we can change that. It's going to be in our submit, right? Yeah. So create to-do list. This is not happening before we're changing. To-do list is not changing. Pretty sure this will cause an error if I just go to the link. Yeah. That's what I expected to happen. So how can we change this? I think what we can do is we can say, I think we can create an epic. So submit, we're creating a to-do list, right? Every time we create a to-do list, we want to go to the last one. Oops. So instead of, let's move to-do lists. We don't need you anymore. We don't need change lists. We just need toggle. So let's remove it from here. We're not going to do it here. And we're not going to need this here. Okay, so instead of putting that logic there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the epic. Const create list to-do list epic. Let's go to the end, paste it. Okay, so the type that this is going to wait for is this is going to wait for, let's see what, it should be current list, no, it should be to-do list. Add to-do list. So current list. Add to-do list. So after we add a to-do list, what we'd like to do is just set the current list, change list. We just want to change the list. We're just going to map type change list, and we're just going to say, so add to-do list. When we add the to-do list, what are we passing? List. So after this is done, we actually don't even care. So let's just get the const to-do list is equal to get state dot to-do list, and we can actually do it like this. Here we'll do new list is equal to to-do list dot length -1. So let's explain what's happening here. So the important, and let me add it right here first. So the important thing to know about epics is they happen after the reducer. So the add to-do list has already happened. The to-do has been added to the whole list. So now we're for sure going to have this in there. So we have the size. So now we can then just change the list with this correct size, get the state, and it'll be at the right place. So if we refresh, and this is getting really long. Right now we don't have a way to delete those. So let's just go into the database real quick. Should we just drop all of them? No, that'll cause an error. So let's connect to our end-to-do. And now we're going to drop, actually I think it's delete. Delete from the table is going to be to-do list, where name is equal to, say, L1. Okay, L2, L3, L4. That should clear things up a little bit. Now let's refresh. Another create, and we're still on yellow. So let's see what happened there. Did it not create correctly? Let's refresh this. No, it didn't. Oh no, it is there. Maybe I think I had one that already is called another. Let's try this again. Hop. Okay, now it worked. Now we're on hop. So now I can create to-dos. Oh, what happened there? We found a new error. I think this functionality worked, but let's focus on this because we broke something. Let's get out of here. So let's just refresh. Let's create a to-do. Seems to work just fine. Come back to hop. Seems to work just fine. Now if I go here and I say hello, create it. That's where we get the problem. Okay. So to figure out why we're getting that problem, we've had a similar problem like this before. And it came down to not passing the ID, so I'm wondering if we're getting the same problem here. So I'm just going to, not here, in the render. Just going to console.log cur to-do list. So when I create one, the current to-do list, changing the to-do. So it does not have an ID. And what is the reason for this? Is it just in our subscription we're not getting the ID? Yeah. So let's just grab the ID. We just weren't grabbing the ID. So we're on working now. All right. So it looks like those are working nicely now. I just want to add, let's add deleting these list views because these are really annoying. Having delete these in the database. So I kind of just want to set it to a long press and delete it that way for now because that's just a really easy way. So I want to see if that's implemented. If it's not, we can figure out a different way. On press, on long press. So it looks like they have an on long press on the list item. So let's implement the first deleting in the schema. So source, let's just open up Nerdtree, that'll be easier. Source, services, GraphQL, schema. There'll be a mutation. Yeah. This will be delete to-do list. You just need to pass the ID and a token, pass that back, delete. Now in our resolver, delete. We're basically doing this, but for to-do list. So delete to-do list, passing an ID. So to-do list, remove ID, good. This will be to-do list changes. deleted, pass in the to-do list. And okay, I think we're good with the back end. Restart that. Come on over here, you're good now. Now to actually delete, what we're going to do is we're going to long press over here. So if I go to view, so on press we do that. And on long press, do something else. And actually, we just want to hook that up to a mutation, right? So this .props.delete to-do list, which we'll just pass in the to-do list, like that. And this is going to be a mutation, so we can just copy components, to-do item, not the update, but the delete. Copy that. We're going to do just about the same thing. Let's import these guys. View. And we're not going to use the compose function for now. So delete to do list mutation. We're just going to have an ID and a token. Delete to do list. Pass back the ID, that's fine. Delete to do list. Delete to do list. Delete to do list mutation. Delete to do list. Wrap it. Okay. Now I think we're gonna have a problem when we that we're gonna have to fix when we on long press a to-do list that we're currently on, but we're just gonna pretend like that doesn't exist right now just to check if this is working. So we're getting an invalid prop on long press. So did I spell it wrong maybe? On long press. On long press. So let's delete new list. Okay, we're getting a problem. It's hard to see whether the long press triggered. So let's console.log long press. Do that too. Okay. So let's see if it actually triggered. Because I'm curious if another is even there. Or new list, I mean. Okay, so our mutation is just not working. Not yellow. That's a bad idea. Yeah, we will really crash things if we do that. Okay, so long press triggered. Delete to-do list. Delete to-do list. Delete to-do list. Oh, we're supposed to pass the token too. So comma, this dot props dot token. I believe we have token here. No, we don't. So let's pass it in. Token state dot token. Refresh. forget which one I tried to delete. Let's try delete new list. Long press happens. Okay, so it's not working. And what was the error we were getting? Invalid input syntax for integer. Okay, it's kind of interesting. This dot props. Sorry, we should be here. Token. We should be getting the ID, not an object. I was doing that wrong. Okay. Back over here. Long press happened. Okay, so we just don't have it now tied up to our subscription. So let's tie that to our subscription. So we have add to-do list. Should have delete to-do list. And to delete a to-do list, we do this. Delete you. So we're just going to go through the state, and we're going to go through each to-do list if the to-do list ID is not equal to action.id. Did that on the wrong one. Flip. There we go. So now in our action, delete to-do list. Delete to-do list. Passing in the ID. Delete to-do list. Now let's actually call this down here. This will be an else if deleted, delete to-do list, passing in the to-do list.id. Now let's see if our subscription is working. Get rid of another, get rid of what. Okay, cool. So now we can delete these lists. We can flip between them. Now the one thing I want to do is, this should give us an error, right? Yeah. So the first thing we need to check console.log I. So I want to see if it'll tell me the index of the one we're deleting, so we can check that. So first, create a couple. A, B, C, D. Okay, so let's say delete this one. Okay, it does give it to me. Cool. So, oops. So if this dot props dot current list is equal to I, else, so yeah, let's just go to the first one in the list. So we're checking if we're at the current list that we want to delete, then we first have to move, we have to change the list. And let's just go to, let's check. If I go to 0, else go to 1. So this is assuming that they, should I do something wrong here? If this is coloring quite weird. Hold on, let me just see. Nope, this looks fine. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're checking. If we're trying to delete the list that we currently have open, we're going to change lists, and our logic to change the list is if it's not 0, that's what this is checking. If we're not on the first list, then go to the first list. If we are on the first list, go to the second list, and then delete the first list. Actually, I'm curious. If we delete so when we delete a list, we also need to downtick current list by 1. Because, okay, so let's say I'm on working, right? Or I'm on working. I delete working. I should move to AB. No, I'm on A now. Why am I on A? The current list value should be equal to... Oh, this is saying, yeah. If I is equal to 0, go to 0. Okay, I mean, the logic worked. It's not breaking, but I don't understand why it's working. Because we're saying if this is not 0, because if it is 0, we go to 1. But 1, that means we should be here, right? Because this is 0, we move to 1. So let's just view render console.log this.current this.props.current list. Let's see the value of that change. Okay. So the current one is 0, right? Let's add some more. Okay. So we're currently on 5. I do this, we're currently at 0. Now if I delete this, we stay at 0. How? How in the world do we stay at 0? Actions. It never goes to 1, even though it should have gone to 1. Okay, let's just say go to 0 every time. Does that work? Even if we delete this first one? Because I would think before we delete it, we just move. Okay, it works. I don't know why. Because it doesn't do anything. Because if I get rid of this, we should be crashing. No, we actually just don't crash. Why were we crashing before? I guess it was a different problem. We're fine. We're fine deleting the current one. Okay. Our code works. Cool. Alright, so this all looks very good. I'm gonna leave the live stream for now. We are in a good place. We're getting very close to finishing this up. What I want to do in the next video is sharing, and that's pretty much the last feature I want to add onto this, is being able to share this and have 2 users use the to-do list real time. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.